Welcome to Tripodcast, episode 263. It's Monday, November 19th, and Dick Ollek says, I just don't understand employees these days. In this Tripodcast, Dick looks at the different generations and how this impacts training and every part of your operation. Let's listen in.
I don't understand employees these days. Do you find yourself uttering those words? You find people that you work with uttering those words? Or if you're a parent, do you say, I don't understand kids these days? I'm sure my parents said it about me. Well, you know, it is different today, isn't it? There are some changes today. There are different generations that have different priorities than back in the, quote, olden days. You know, back in 2009, I listened to a presentation at a BSCAI convention by Mary Crane and Associates, where she outlined the differences in the different generations. And basically she said we have the traditionalists. Those are the ones that are born prior to 1946. And I'm not ashamed to say that I'm in that group. I'm one of those old-timers, born prior to 1946. Then we have the baby boomers who were born between 1946 and 1964. We have Generation X, then, that was born starting in 1965 up till 1980. Then we have the Y generation, which I affectionately like to call the WHY, the Y generation. They were born after 1981 on up to 2000, yeah. And so we have these different generations, and I think you know that each of these generations has completely, in many cases, completely different priorities, dramatic differences in the way they think. In fact, if you go to my website at www.consultantsincleaning.com, and if you click on the DVD icon there and go over to the left side of that, you can download the all about this session that Mary Crane put out, and it's entitled "The Differences in Us." The Difference in Us is what I've entitled it on the website. You can download it. It's free. It's about 8 or 10, maybe 12 pages, and you'll get a kind of a flow of the differences in the different generations today. In fact, I just had someone tell me the other day on advertising for people. They said, we all grew up. And this was a person that was not quite as old as I am, but not far away either. They said, you know, when we needed help in the olden days, we would run an ad in the newspaper, right? They said, your younger generation, you try to hire somebody that's 25 years old, they don't even read the newspaper, most of them. If it isn't on the internet, if they can't get it on their computer, they aren't paying attention to it. So the newspaper is not someplace they're going to be looking for work. Good point, isn't it? Ever thought of that? What does all this mean? You see, if you understand the differences in the generations today and the different expectations that each of these generations has, it will be much easier for you to manage your business. If you can understand what each of these different generations have as their priorities, and you can understand what they look for in their training, it will be much easier. Your life will be much easier. We have to learn to become maybe a little more patient today than we were in the past. Some owners that I've talked to said, you know, I'm offering the job. Why do I have to be patient? Well, that's true, but there are also other jobs out there, and I know that at the time you're watching this, that the economy is probably not at the most robust stage that it's ever been. But by the same token, you've heard me in past Tripodcasts talk about there are many people on your payroll today, and in the younger generation as high as 40%, that would love to leave their jobs today. So they're looking. And as soon as it opens up, if we haven't understood this, if we haven't understood the differences in the generations, we're going to have a tough time holding on to the people. So I think we have to change. We have to think about the different cultures and the different generations. Now, having said all that, let me end this Tripodcast by saying you never sacrifice the culture of your business, but try hard to understand the people you have working with you.
You've been listening to a Tripodcast, short video and audio presentation about important topics in our industry. If you're a current subscriber to the Tripodcast, thank you. We appreciate it. If you're not yet a subscriber, please check it out. It's free and it's easy. Come to www.tripodcast.com, enter your email address on the right-hand column, and click subscribe. We'll send you out a new Tripodcast every Monday morning.